On behalf of Xander's family, thank you all for coming today to celebrate Xander's life and to honor his memory. The family wanted to acknowledge with sincere appreciation the messages, tribute, and support from the individuals, from the police and fire departments that are participating. I'd like to welcome Jordan Doman with a life sketch of Xander.
Friends and family, what an honor and a privilege it is to be able to share with you portions of Xander's life. As I sat with Mike and Aaron, the thought that kept coming to me was that we've all had opportunities and experiences to have Xander be part of our lives. And these thoughts and experiences that I will share come directly from Mike and Aaron. But as I share these things, I know that many other memories, many other fun times will come to your mind. And I wish and I hope, as we celebrate Xander's life today, that we can feel him in our presence, that we know Xander's spirit lives on. Xander John Heaton was born August 6, 2013, at a hefty close to 10 pounds in American Fork, Utah, to his parents Mike and Aaron Heaton. He was delivered by the same doctor that delivered his older brothers. And when Xander was born, the doctor told Aaron that she had a winner because he weighed more than his brothers did. Xander showed his independence and personality from the very beginning, and that was a staple throughout his life. At 18 months, Xander showed his resiliency and determination when he broke his leg in 2 places. He learned how to walk with a cast from his ankle to his hip. It is said he learned how to use his cast as a weapon. Anyone changing his diaper had to be aware because he would use it with frequency. And it is rumored that there are still marks to this day on furniture and maybe his brother Brent. Even a broken leg couldn't slow this kid down. Xander has always been a tease, and he was never afraid to get in the middle of a wrestling match with Brent and Dragon or his older cousins. Aaron remarked that a particular target for Xander's teasing was great-grandma Polly. However, this playful banter and reciprocal teasing spurred a close bond between the two. Now, you would have to be living under a rock or outside of civilization if you didn't know that Xander had a small liking for all things firefighting. Be it firefighters, uniforms, trucks, etc. His love and obsession for firefighting began very early on. His parents attribute, this is supposed to be a funny part, I don't know why I'm crying. His parents attribute that love for firefighting to living in Saratoga Springs and seeing the smoke that regularly occurs across the lake, or even on our very own Lake Mountain. While Xander loves all first responders, firefighters hold a clear dominant place in his heart. Xander's zest for life carried over to other areas. He had an enthusiastic eagerness to participate in many activities before he was allowed to on his own. In particular, he wanted to be involved in what his brothers were doing, whether it be baseball or soccer, school or bike riding, motorcycle riding. He just wanted to be involved with what his brothers were doing. Have you ever seen a kid, oh, excuse me, I'm going to skip a part. We don't want to skip this part. This is my favorite part of the whole message. He had a special love for his animals. Those include Thor, Lilo, Stitch, MJ, Rogue, and the ever-popular Stark, the cat. However, Xander, it was more well known for Xander to call the cat Mr. Buttface. Have you ever seen a kid love snow boots so much that he would wear them 12 months out of the year? Well, that was Xander. He wore out more snow boots than most adults. Do you know how hard it is to find snow boots in July in Utah? Xander took on the unofficial role of big brother to his cousin Richard. This helped prepare him when he officially took on the role to Adam and Delilah. He took this role very seriously. While excited to have more siblings in general, his favorite playmates were Ephraim, Delilah, and Adam. Wonder of wonders, all 8 got along and played very well together. Xander also loved spending time at home with his mom, Erin, and his brothers. He was Mom's little helper as the man of the house, and his tool belt was always close by. He was there to help Mom try and fix things. While young in age, his heart was huge, and he was always willing and trying to do work to help Mom. He also loved going out on the shooting range. While he didn't necessarily shoot the guns, he made sure that every single piece of spent brass was picked up. He would fill his pockets so that his comfy pants turned into lowriders. Speaking more about cleaning up after things and people, Xander was meticulous, a meticulously tidy child. Everyone loved having Xander as a roommate because that meant they had a clean room. I have it on good authority that he would go around and mother hen others and ask why they weren't cleaning up after themselves. In December 2019, Xander's life changed considerably when a cyst was discovered near his brain. During the early portion of 2020, challenges arose that prevented and delayed the drainage of the cyst. Xander still didn't allow this to slow him down, this diagnosis to slow him down. He passionately participated in kindergarten even when all the kids had to participate remotely due to COVID. He would work on his homework with his mom and brothers, and they enjoyed spending many hours hiking and exploring. Fast forward to July 2020, when we received approval to have the cyst, when they received approval to have the cyst drained. He hadn't even had enough time to fully recover from surgery when it was discovered that he had Burkitt's lymphoma. The first 4 weeks were extremely touch and go due to the complexity and challenges of his recent brain surgery. This made typical treatments of cancer impossible and tricky at best. In short, there was an intricate series of procedures performed to allow proper healing in the brain, aggressive treatment of the cancer to reduce risk, and increase the quality of life. The highlight of Xander's days at Primary Children's Hospital were physical and music therapy. Through his sickness and hospital stays, his teasing demeanor did not diminish. At Primary Children's, he loved to tease the nurses with remote-controlled snakes and spiders. He did take a break from firefighting to issue a few tickets while riding a bike throughout the hallways. Depending on his mood, the ticket would range from $5 to $500,000. In New York, he would scream out the door at his nurses. I found this one pretty funny. This was sanctioned by his doctor, who recommended the practice to open up his lungs while fighting through the complications of the illness. Apparently what would happen is they would open the door and he'd yell out the door to the nurses just for fun. And the doctor said, this is really good. He needs to do this. So he would scream and scream at the nurses. In a playful way, of course. He was also known for his walkabouts, where he would commandeer a wagon, always kept in his room, I understand that they had to borrow the wagons, but Xander never wanted to borrow a wagon. He just kept it in his room. And take his stuffed animals for a walk to visit each of the nurses' stations. And if you saw a picture of Xander with his wagon, that wagon was chock full of stuffed animals. In New York, Xander took the opportunity to hone his dancing skills. He loved to have dance parties with the doctors and nurses, and he was always the DJ by selecting what song they were going to dance to. He also liked to gather the new student nurses, I've seen a picture of this as well, gather the new student nurses for class. No one ever knew what the syllabus or instruction was going to be, but Xander was always on point. Xander had the opportunity to be visited by some family members during his stay in New York. On one occasion, Grandpa, Mike's dad, was visiting and needed a haircut. Xander somehow convinced Grandpa to allow him to do the honors. Xander also had a great visit from Grandma, Aaron's mom. She came out for a time, and it was great to have her company. Xander's cousin also came out. These visits helped him with being away from home. Technology also made it possible to maintain connections with family and friends. Xander looked very much forward to those visits. Xander had a particular love for certain foods and beverages. He loved burnt Cheez-Its, cheese chips, or what we know as nachos, smoker meat, which we know as pulled pork, and sour gummy snakes, which is a kid after my own heart. His beverages of choice were root beer and ice-cold water. He always asked for ice-cold water, and it had to have ice in it. You couldn't fool him by just giving him cold tap water. It had to be cold. And what I'm picturing is like Arctic cold.
Yeah.
It had to be really cold. Even up to his last hours, he wanted his cold water. Xander's snacks were also commonly found in bed with him, both at the hospital and at home. Each of the sections or neighborhoods of the hospital were themed. His favorite neighborhood was the Hero neighborhood, where the crew compartment of a fire truck was available to play in. When energy and time permitted, Xander took 4 to 5 trips a day to play in this area. Many hours were spent playing, feeding his love and obsession for firefighting. It was noted by all the hospital staff when Xander was not able to make his visits to the fire truck. In both hospitals, he made friends with the fellow children. He was naturally drawn to them, and they still found a way to be kids. Whether it was playing on the playground, completing physical therapy, claiming toys from the toy cart, or dragging their IV poles throughout the hallways for a walk, Xander was still smiling. He made many friends and was a friend. We appreciate very much the lifelong friendships we made while going through this battle together. There is no way to adequately express the love and appreciation we have for all the medical staff at both Primary Children's and Maria Ferrari Children's Hospital, and the special bond Xander had with them. He spent the last 8 months of his life within inpatient care. They were his everything. In his final weeks, and I'm speaking on behalf of Aaron and Mike in this statement, in his final weeks, we were blown away by the community outreach that helped bring him home and make memories for he and his family. We love and thank you very much. I asked Mike and Aaron if at the close of the life sketch I could make a couple of remarks. Friends and family, I have one request. Xander's final days were filled with memories of love. Community, first responders, friends, family, gathered around the Heatons and supported Xander and provided wonderful memories. But I have a plea and I have a request. There's a lot of love and support and outreach that's happening right now, and that's what they need. But in the coming days and weeks, months, and years, they will need support. when the real Halloween comes around, give them a call, send them a text. When Thanksgiving or Christmas happen, give them a call, send them a text. If you're thinking about them, there's probably a reason you are. Give them a call or send them a text. There will be times that are very lonely. For that, we are here. And I give you that challenge that we can help them as they move through this. Thank you.
Thank you, Jordan. I appreciate the reminder of so many of the good memories with Xander. Ashley Nerden is going to come up for the musical selection.
May angels lead you
Ashley. That was beautiful and very moving. And next, I'd like to welcome John Feston, speaking for Aaron Heaton.
Seriously, I get to be so lucky to follow the musical number. Ashley, that was beautiful, thank you. Good morning. Cancer sucks, doesn't it? I am grateful to be here with you and honored that Aaron would ask me to say a few words on her behalf on this rough day and this difficult time. Aaron, Nick, Mike, Kelly, kids, none of us can possibly understand what you've been through these past 13 months as Xander has fought so valiantly. It's hard to understand why this has happened, and I can't even begin to imagine the hurt you must be feeling. I'm truly sorry for your loss, and I hope that what I have prepared today will help ease the pain in some small way. Standing up here on behalf of Xander's mother, I thought and pondered what I might say to you today, and there are two things that kept coming to the front of my mind. The first is a mother's love that she has for her children. And second, what has Xander taught us as he so valiantly battled this terrible disease? When I think of a mother's love, there are some pretty powerful words that come to mind. Bear, born, carry, deliver. These words convey help and hope for safe movement from where we are to where we need to be. These words also imply burden, struggle, and fatigue. Words most appropriate when describing the love that a devoted mother has for her children. Sometimes at unspeakable cost, a mother lifts us up when we have fallen, carries us forward when our strength is gone, and delivers us safely home when safety seems so far beyond our reach. You see, it's not only that they bear us, but they continue bearing with us. It is not only parental carrying, but the lifelong carrying for her children that makes being a mother such a staggering feat. I found a passage by Victor Hugo that reminded me of Erin as I've watched her grow through this. It says, "She broke bread into fragments and gave them to her children, who ate with eagerness. She hath kept none for herself," grumbled the sergeant. "Because she is not hungry?" asked the soldier. "No," said the sergeant, "because she is a mother." When we think of the bread, I'm sure that all of you have given all of your bread through this trial. I have personally watched Erin navigate through this with grace and class and dedication to her boys. I can honestly say that they have been and will continue to be her biggest blessing. Sometimes it's hard in situations like this to know what to say. There are really few, if any, words that we can say that would help ease the pain. In thinking through this, though, one thing that I know that Aaron and Nick and Mike and Kelly would appreciate, as Jordan said, is to continue to talk about Xander. Talk to them about their other children as well. I think that they would enjoy that as the time goes on, and honestly, what parents don't like to talk about their children. In my preparation for today, I came across a poem that I shared with Aaron and coincidentally also made it on the back of your program. I don't know if that's my fault or if we were just kind of great minds think alike, but it reads, "The mention of my child's name may bring tears to my eyes. but it never fails to bring music to my ears. Let me hear the beautiful music of his name. It soothes my broken heart and sings to my soul. The night Xander passed away, I didn't get much sleep. Erin had asked me a few days previous if I would do this on her behalf, and I really wanted to make her and Xander proud. I kept repeating in my mind, what do you want me to say to Xander? What do you want me to say? So through that, I felt like there were some things that Xander has taught us throughout this unfair battle. The first being tolerance or patience. The second, having a sense of humor. Third, showing kindness. And fourth, love. I spent the next few days reading through 13 months of text messages, Facebook posts, blog posts, just reminiscing about his journey. I appreciated having that history that I could go back and see things from back to the very beginning. Webster defines tolerance as capacity to endure pain and hardship. 13 months, Xander fought this terrible disease. Most of that time was spent in a hospital. I tried to do some math and make some estimates as to how many procedures Xander went through during that time. From what I could gather, it seemed that there was about 100 procedures or surgeries. He was probably stuck with a needle more than 1,000 times and threw up too many times to count. Erin shared with me that he had 22 scars on his body from those said procedures. Capacity to endure pain or hardship. I think Xander was a perfect example of tolerance. In my reading, I was reminded that when Xander got to New York, he couldn't go outside for 97 days. 97 days. It's 3 months. Can you even imagine? So when your life starts to get a bit overwhelming, the deck starts to become stacked against you, I want you to take a moment and think about Xander. He was wise beyond his years. Think of the patience that he had, the tolerance that he showed through all of this, and compare it to what you are facing. I am hopeful that the lessons Xander taught us about patience and tolerance will help us get through our challenging days. There will be challenging days. They always come, and when they do, just be patient and tolerant with others. Remember, 97 days. And I promise you that you will be provided the strength you need to get through your trial. Mark Twain said that humor is the great thing, the saving thing after all. The minute it crops up, all of our hardnesses yield, all of our irritations and resentments fly away, and a sunny spirit takes their place. He's certainly not wrong. Humor may very well be the great thing. It touches upon nearly every facet of our lives. It seems that Jordan and I had the same information source, because I have quite a few of the same stories that he went over in his life sketch. The teasing with the remote control snakes and spiders. He would tease him with his red light. I still can't figure is that the pulse oximeter? Is his oxygen? He was teasing the nurses that it was falling off when they were watching him literally take it off. As Jordan said, he would ride around and give millions of dollars in tickets, go to the nurses' station and dance, have classes with the new students. It's like we wrote the same talk, Jordan's. He loved to make up new games and change the rules mid-game. I read one story about when Mike got to New York and he'd taken an Uber and Xander gave you a bad time and he asked him, well, how else am I supposed to get here? And he said, well, just take a taxi, Dad. All of these stories gave me a chuckle. My favorite was, and I don't know why this touched me so much, when Xander would be transferred through the hospital or going through, call everyone his amigo. And I could just see him pointing at people, hey amigo, hey amigo. Made me smile, shed a tear or two as well. Xander was never one to hold back. If he had something to say, he wasn't afraid to say it. I picture this as kind of the kids say the darndest things scenario. I'm sure it would keep his parents on their toes. Not quite sure what was going to come out of his mouth. When Xander's buddy Tate went over to visit, Xander was talking to him about how they could share a bedroom. It would be their epic party room, and we could stay up all night and have fun. I hope that we can learn a lesson here from Xander and live each day to its fullest. Look for opportunities to laugh and tease. By doing so, we'll be able to live, as Mark Twain said, with a sunny spirit, rather than with hardnesses, irritations, or resentments. On one of the few days that Xander was out of the hospital through all of this, he and his mom ended up visiting some family and friends on Christmas Eve. I remember him being so kind and so genuine as he gave us each a small gift. It was a very tender moment for us, as I'm sure it was for others as well. He was beaten down by all these treatments, but still wanted to make sure that he showed kindnesses. As I read through all of these posts, I was overwhelmed by the kindnesses shown to his family. I lost count how many different fire departments sent patches, pins, turnouts, helmets, badges. There were countless acts of service, thousands of dollars donated, family pictures taken, t-shirts printed, meals donated, gift cards given, stickers created, home decor signs painted, auctions, yard sales, and many, many more. They were a testament to how much this boy and his family were loved. Most recently, I was touched last Saturday when Xander's friends in the Saratoga and Eagle Mountain communities played their football games on behalf of him. There was a video. Just little guys making an X as they went down the line. And to see Brent and Dragan carry a picture of Xander out to the field as their honorary captain for the day. I would like to challenge each of you today to keep being kind. Oftentimes it's nothing more than a smile that can change the course of someone else's day. If Xander has taught us anything through all of this, it's that we never have an excuse not to be kind. He was in the battle of his life, and no one would have blamed him for staying home on Christmas Eve. But he chose kindness. Follow his example and look for opportunities to serve and show others kindness, regardless of the circumstances that we're in. Our lives will be blessed as we do so. I lost my mother-in-law 4 years ago this month. One of the biggest things she taught me was simply to double the love. Last year I was having some challenges of my own. My daughter reached out to many of my friends and family and asked if they would record a little video clip that she could mash together and send me. With Aaron's help, Xander recorded a small clip. It said, "I love you, feel better, and I hope you have good luck at Super Bowl." And then he gave me 2 thumbs up. I cried Sunday when I was preparing, I cried in January, I'm crying now. Despite the battle he was facing, he wanted to take time to show love to another. Sometimes I wish I could be like a child again, not have all the noise and distraction around me, and to be able to love unconditionally. Nelson Mandela said, "No one is born hating another person because of the color of his skin, or his background, or his religion. People must learn to hate. If they can learn to hate, they can be taught to love, for love comes more naturally to the human heart than the opposite." With as much hardness, selfishness, division, and greediness there is in our world today, I hope that we can learn the lesson that Xander has taught us, to put others before ourselves and to double the love. Washington Irving said, "There is sacredness in tears. They are not the mark of weakness, but of power. They speak more eloquently than 10,000 tongues. They are messengers of overwhelming grief and unspeakable love." Losing Xander is awful. Cancer is awful. But I believe that Xander's spirit lives on through each of us. We've learned so much from him. I think now we look at our own lives a little differently. We've seen heartbreak, but we've also witnessed true grace. We've learned to take joy in small victories. We've seen generosity of others, and we've witnessed hope in the face of the ultimate unfairness. Xander, we love you. We miss you. May you rest in paradise, my friend.
Thank you, John. We now have a music video presentation that Xander's family has prepared.
Over the hills and far away, looking out for a better day. When it seems like there's no escape, take me to my happy place. If I could wish upon a star, I'd wish that I could heal the scars and take away every ounce of pain. So hold my hand if you feel scared. I'll build a house where you feel safe, and if you call my name, then I'll be there. Over the hills and far away, looking out for a better day. When it seems like there's no escape, take me to my happy place. If I could wish upon a star, I'd take us right back to the start. Close my eyes and live those days again. Oh, I would walk 1,000 miles to hear you laugh and see you smile. I wish that things would never have to change. Over the hills and far away, looking out for a better day. When it seems like there's no escape, take me to my happy place. In the darkness, leave a light on. Through the storm, I remember what you told us. Keep your head up, standing strong. If you dream and believe, you can find a way back home. Over the hills and far away, looking out for a better day. When it seems like there's no escape, take me to my happy place. Over the hills and far away, looking out for a better day. When it seems like there's no escape, take me to my happy place. Oh, 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 oh. First things first, I'ma say all the words inside my head. I'm fired up and tired of the way that things have been. Oh, ooh, the way that things have been. Oh, ooh. Second thing, second, don't you tell me what you think that I can be. I'm the one at the sail, I'm the master of my sea. Oh, ooh, the master of my sea. Oh, ooh. I was broken from a young age, taking my soak into the masses, writing my poems for the few that look at me, took to me, shook at me, feeling me, singing from heartache, from the pain, taking my message from the veins, speaking my lesson from the brain, seeing the beauty through the... Hey, you made me a believer, believer. Hey, you break me down, you build me a believer, believer. Let them rain. My life, my love, my drive, it came from. Hey, you made me a believer, believer. Third things third, send a prayer to the ones up above. All the hate that you've heard has turned your spirit to a dove. Oh, ooh, your spirit up above. Oh, I was choking in the crowd, building my rain up in the cloud, falling like ashes to the ground, hoping my feelings, they would drown. But they never did, ever lived, ebbing and flowing, inhibited, limited, till it broke open and rained down. It rained down like... Hey, you made me a believer, believer. Hey, you break me down, you build me a believer, believer. And the flames, you're the face of the future, the blood in my veins. Oh, ooh, the blood in my veins. Oh, ooh. But they never did, ever lived, ebbing and flowing, inhibited, limited, till it broke open and rained down. It rained down like... Hey, you made me a believer, believer. Believer, believer. Hey, let the bullets fly, let them rain. My life, my love, my drive, it came from. Hey, you made me a believer, believer.
Aaron! Darren! You're smoke in the house out there because I got a fire truck. Yeah? I tried there in the fire truck.
You're calling Darren in the fire truck? Okay.
Now hear from Troy McLeave for Mike Heaton. Just a minute.
Thank you all for being here. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Troy. I'm the father to Kelly's children and the adopted uncle for Brent, Dragon, and for Xander. Mike and I have been working on these words together for some time, and I'm going to share with you some words that Mike wrote.
sum up the life of a child like Xander. While all of you have met and known Xander in your own way, I would like to share with you just a small portion of the Xander I have known and loved. He was funny to some, sassy to others, kind to all, and a true force to be reckoned with always. As complex as Xander was, there's one simple truth. He loved unconditionally and told you where you stood with him at that moment in time. He left it up to you to decide what to do with that information. One of the first talks I had with Brent when we learned that Aaron was pregnant with Dragon was that he was going to be a big brother. And as such, he would have the new role of helping to teach his little brother what he had learned in life. To be there for him and to love him unconditionally. A few years later, when we learned that Xander was coming, I had the same talk with Dragon. In addition, I explained to him, that he should look to Brent as the example of a great big brother, and to do the same for Xander. This time when I talked to Brent, I told him he would have the additional role of teaching Dragon how to be a big brother to Xander. At the time, I didn't understand how valuable the lesson this was, or how deeply each of the boys embraced this idea, until Kelly and I got married. Xander, without me ever saying a word, proudly took up the role of being a big brother to Adam and Delilah. I've heard stories of how he even took this role with other younger family members when I was not around. I'm sure many of you have seen or even have a sign that says "Live, Laugh, Love." I can think of no one that better demonstrated this than Xander. He lived his life with an unbreakable spirit and always did his best, no matter what obstacles life gave him. Around 18 months, he broke his leg just as he was starting to learn to walk. This was when everyone saw just how unstoppable this little man really was. True to his spirit, he decided that even a full leg cast was not going to stop him or even slow him down. He learned to walk again, just with a cast now. A few years later, Xander decided it was time for him to learn to ride the blue bike. This is the same blue bike that Brent, Dragon, Xander, and now Adam have all learned to ride on. This way he could go for rides with me and his brothers, and just like that, he learned to ride on his own in just a few days, and his love for riding his bike started. Only a short time after learning to ride a bike, Dragon got a 50cc gas dirt bike. Again, Xander decided it was only logical that he would ride Dragon's little electric bike, so he could keep up. And again, true to form, within a few hours he was racing around the park with Dragon. It never crossed his mind or mattered to Xander that he was one of the youngest in the family. He would find a way to join in and play with the bigger kids. He would hold his own more often than not. Even while spending weeks to months at a time in the hospital, Xander was up and moving day and night, taking walks around the hospital at all hours to play or just to check on other kids and staff. Even in his last days with us, he was still actively demanding to be where the action was. He moved from his bedroom to our great room just so he was around everyone. He loved everyone he met. Take a moment to look around. You will see some of the many faces of people Xander loved in his short 8 years with us. This is a small fraction of the lives that Xander touched. There are too many for this building to hold. So many are watching online with us today. Xander is the only person I know that could tell someone they are, quote, being a fucking asshole to their face with full sonority and conviction. And then with that same tone, moments later, demand and receive a hug from them. If you don't believe me, look around for those that are smiling right now. Over the last year in the hospital, Xander spent countless hours watching shows, playing Roblox, or just talking with siblings over FaceTime. This was the highlight of many days, and there was no shortage of kids running to get chores done, wake up early, or just drop everything to play with him. In his final days, all of his siblings gave up something that was important to them so they can lay in bed for hours just so he wasn't alone. There was also never a lack of someone wanting to cuddle with him while he rested. More than once, I would go into his room to find 3 or 4 kids sitting on the floor of his room, waiting on their next turn to cuddle with him. He truly was loved by everyone and loved everyone unconditionally. His laugh brightened my day, no matter what was going on in my life. From the funny videos of him as a baby at bedtime, to him dressing in the most random mixture of clothing and costume, but always his snow boots. Playing with his family, his siblings, or talking anyone into getting down on the floor to play with him. Xander truly showed his superpower while in the hospital. He had nurses, doctors, and other hospital staff scheduling time to come and play the most random of games that only he knew the rules to. More than once, he found a group of student nurses taking a break while in the hospital in New York and got them to play and laugh with him. Xander had the rare ability to make just about anyone play and laugh with him. About 3 years ago now, I took Xander with me to get a haircut. While there, he decided he also needed a haircut. To my shock, at the time, he requested that they cut his hair just like mine. But as you would guess, Xander had to change it a bit to fit his personality. As his hairstylist was finishing up, she asked him if he would like some color in his hair like she had. No one should be shocked that not only did he say yes, but he also talked her into searching the store for red hair color spray. Finally, I would like to thank everyone that is here today and has been a part of Xander's life. I've been asked more times than I could count how people could help. I leave you today with 3 simple ways that you can help honor Xander. First, please freely share your memories and stories of Xander with others. Second, please take a minute and find someone you love and give them a great big hug and tell them you love them. And if you're able, share it on social media with the hashtag #HugFromXander. Every one of these I've seen so far has reminded me of one of Xander's great big hugs and brightened my day a little more. And last but not least, please join me in working every day for the rest of our lives to live each day to its fullest, infectiously laugh at ourselves and the world, and love everyone unconditionally, just as Xander did. Xander will forever and always be our son, brother, and hero.
Chase White will now present gifts from Xander. This concludes our services here. There will be graveside services at the American Fork City Cemetery. As the pallbearers escort Xander out, the immediate family will follow. I'll ask everyone to remain here while they do that, to give them room. The rest of us can then follow outside. The pallbearers are Steve Masters, Brett Wagstaff, Ryan Love, Christy Heyer, Darren Wright, and Mark Harris. The honorary pallbearers are Eric Wolfenden, Corey Lord, Alex Pratt, Casey Lord, Eric Dolly, Steve Carpenter, Ben Crandall, Caleb Lord, and Michael Best. Would you all please rise?